now with the introduction of a new board to steer the affairs of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC. There are anxieties on the policy direction of Nigeria's petroleum sector, and people are wondering what direction will this take in the future. So let's get more perspective on this. And joining us is a former technical advisor to the Minister of Petroleum and a former consultant at the World Bank, Mr. Okudili Ikejiani. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Now, with the series of appointments you have seen across the NNPC, I mean, 7 days ago we had about 8 appointments. A few days ago also we had a major appointment of Mr. Thomas John. What do you think this says about the NNPC's performance so far? Do you think there's set to be a revamp of the NNPC with these appointments?
I certainly don't think so. We cannot be doing things that have not worked for us, and we continue to do it over and over again until we embrace all the leadership of this country. Because if we don't embrace the institutional reforms that has been proposed since the Obasanjo administration up to Yar'Adua, Jonathan, and now Buhari administration, the president and his team must take the lead in trying to reform and modernize that institution. Those laws that the NNPC Act, it's not only outdated, it doesn't respond to the modern business way, modern way of doing business in the oil industry. So I will suggest that whilst the appointments which have been made is in line with the NNPC Act, there must be effort on the part of the administration to take the lead instead of allowing only the National Assembly to pursue institutional reform in this sector.
Right.
So that's my point.
Okay, Mr. Ikejiani, it will be difficult to talk about the petroleum sector in Nigeria and not talk subsidy. I'm sure you'll agree with me. Now, this is something that has remained elusive in some way in the country. So can you help us break this down briefly? Why has this subsidy issue remained elusive so far? Because
the leadership of the country, if you recall, the Jonathan administration tried to remove it, and there was a lot of opposition against it. This president also, I think, tried to remove some of it. So some of this requires political leadership.
Right. Because
that amount of money being spent is supposed to be used for schools and hospitals and the roads. Basic social amenities for Nigerians, rather than allowing marketers and government officials to cut away with our money. So, well, I take my cue behind the Emir of Kano. He spoke very well on this issue a few days ago, and I think we should go along that line. That's my opinion. Thank you.
All right. We'd like to appreciate your time, Mr. Okudili Ikejiani. I wish we had more time to discuss this. He's a former consultant at the World Bank, as well as a former senior technical advisor to the Minister of Petroleum. Thank you so much for your time on the program.